Next, we provide you with a parent's personal template, which is going to help you streamline what kind of parents you're dealing with, what kind of parents you're trying to reach. It will help you identify them. It's a simple practical tool to help schools understand and segment their parents for effective marketing. When you know what kind of parents you're dealing with, then you know what to say to them. And then, how do you identify this kind of parents? How do you craft your messaging? And so we're going to give you a template. And then on that template, you're going to have name, socio-economic profile, values, beliefs, school preferences, pain points, goals and expectations, preferred communication channels, decision-making behavior, messaging that resonates, how your school can serve this parent, on the template. That will help you identify what kind of parent this is. If there's a particular parent you're looking to reach, or maybe there's a parent in your school you're hoping to use to send referrals. So you're hoping that she's going to draw in her kind of people. So you target her kind of the fact that, okay, if I'm going to be drawing her kind of people, then this is the kind of person she is. Then you're able to streamline, you're able to identify her person, her kind of person. It will help you pinpoint what kind of messaging, is required for that kind of parent before you begin to work on it. And to a large extent, schools where 70% of parents are a certain way, it becomes easy to use the same method for every parent. As you go along, it becomes easier and easier because once you see one parent, you already have an idea, you already have their kind of template, you already know what to do and what to say. So it becomes smoother and smoother. But when we have a template, the good thing for templates is when, for instance, if there's new management and there's new teachers, and the new people do not know how things are done, the template helps them reignite, helps them understand what you're doing and how to go about it. Then they can begin to work on it. All right, that's it. That's about it. And then next we'll be talking about the income strata table, parent income strata table, and how schools can use that to influence their marketing. Okay, now for parents income strata and how it affects marketing. Now we want to look at the table and see the nitty-gritty of the matter. So starting from lower income parents, it says, first of all, they want basic affordability, low fees, scholarships. We've talked about that. And then what this means is that they want you to promote scholarships and social support without stigma. You can have a test where you can harvest the most intelligent students in the community. That way, they're intelligent, you may not be able to afford it, but they're in your school. And because they're in your school, they will talk about it. It will become word of mouth advertising for you. If your school gives such a fantastic experience, it will become a good thing, for your marketing. So you can provide scholarships. It doesn't have to be all the children. Make a decision to provide 1 or 2 scholarships every year. And you have anybody who thinks they can make it, come around and write the test. You're able to mop up those students who are so good, they will market your school. And there will not be any stigma attached to it. So promote scholarships and social support without stigma. Then they also like proximity. The closer it is for them, the better, because there's no cost of sending them to school. And then, of course, there's also no extra cost of transport, either to buy fuel to to bring them to your school, or to pay for school bus. So location matters, transport cost also matters. We have to consider all that. Hyper local marketing is what you use. Street banners, community groups, word of mouth. So your school resides in a particular community. Go to in that community. I hope you're a member of that community. You're not uppity feeling that you're bigger than the community. Your school resides in that community. Join the community. If your school is a higher cadre than the community, then you provide amenities for the community. Let the community know that it was provided by this school. But if your school is within the same cadre, then you advertise your school and ask them to come. Even if your school is a higher cadre than the community to which it resides, then that's when you can also do the scholarship scheme and bring them in. I know many schools that do that, many big schools that do that. Use street banners, use word of mouth, trust and safety. They rely heavily on word of mouth. Active referral programs, WhatsApp testimonies, real parent stories for low-income parents. Simple communication. They prefer straightforward, respectful marketing. Straightforward. Word of mouth. Straightforward. Don't complicate it. Use easy to understand messaging and avoid jargon. Don't talk too much technicality. Use basic, simple grammar. Sometimes even add regular Niger slangs, but they want to understand it straight up. They want you to speak the language they understand. And that's low income parents. Lower middle class parents, the cost of education, they want payment flexibility, and then they want discounts when it comes to what it costs them to bring their children to your school. So what that means is promote flexible payment plans. Nothing wrong with flexible payment plans. How can you pay? How would you be able to pay? In other words, they break it down for you. Are you going to pay a certain percentage every month until you finish before the close of term? How do you want to pay? And then strike that deal with the person, with the parent, and then the parents actually does the needful. Transparently, everything has to be transparent. You sign papers. There's no underhanded deal. There's no, not today you do this, tomorrow you do another. No. You have to stick to what you have told us you're going to do. And then if there's a problem, you come back to us and say there's this problem. But there can't be a problem all the time. Remember, you're not marketing everybody. Whoever you're dealing with has to be somebody who, no matter what, is transparent. Has to be somebody who, no matter what, can be trusted. No matter what income level you are, there's wuru in every income level. In high income level, you can also find a wuru person. If people are not transparent, if people are not trustworthy, then they are not good clients. Lower middle class parents, their aspiration for upward mobility, they want better for their children. What that means is use aspirational messages like your child can rise higher with us. Practical benefits, they want practical benefits. You highlight affordability bundles, convenience, and all that. That's what lower middle class parents are hoping for. So you see, it's still very similar to what lower income, parents are looking for. Okay. Then we talk about middle class parents. They want affordability. They also want value. So they want affordability, but not to the detriment of value. Lower income may say, I beg that value you're talking about, let's forget about it for now. This is how much I can afford. But middle class parents want both. They want affordability and they want value. So give them strong value added. Explain to them all the extra things that you're doing, with the academics. Reasonable fees. They want reasonable fee that makes sense. In other words, how would it make sense? It will make sense based on the value. They must also see that you're not trying to jump prices. You're trying to present whatever the value it is that you have at an affordable price. You want to see that you're considering affordability. Create value-focused messaging. Quality without breaking the bank. Those are the kind of things you say to them. Tailored payment plans. Okay? Safety and discipline. What they're looking for when it comes to safety and discipline. Orderly environment where their children thrive. They don't want a place where you walk into the school and you see a broken chair with nails sticking out right at the entrance of the school. Come on. Highlight moral training and discipline. So when you highlight moral training and discipline, it sells middle class parents. Remember, discipline is something that is important to them because it's by discipline they got to where they are. They're most likely not silver spoon kids. So you highlight moral training and discipline. Policies, let them know that there are policies to handle this, policies to handle that. They understand that kind of language. They want to see that there's an engine running every area. Secure campus, they want to see that your campus is secure. For instance, if you have CCTV cameras, you have fire extinguishers around the school, they want to see that you have uniformed security, well trained. They want to see that. Teacher quality, they want your teachers to be caring. You know how you walk into a school and some teachers just know the names of every child that has ever passed through that school. And they call each child by name. Those kind of things show that you care. There is even a template for finding out how well teachers care. You can also share that with you. How well do your teachers care? Give your teachers a question or give yourself as a head a questionnaire. Answer the question to give you an idea. Do my teachers really care? Are they really communicating care or is it all in your mind? Okay, so they're also looking for good teachers, good communication, good English. So what you do is share teacher profiles. Introduce your teachers at the beginning of term. Then give them teacher testimonial. Let the teachers give testimonials so that they hear the teachers speak English. School stability. They're looking for consistency, which is why policies is a good selling point for them. They want to see your policies in place, your policies being utilized. They want to be able to say that's their policy concerning this and that. Use longevity, strong leadership, and stable systems when you're messaging. That's for middle class parents. Now, upper middle class parents, the academic performance, what they expect, they want holistic learning, balanced curriculum. Share detailed academic results and school performance metrics. Value added programs, music, sports, international competitions, academic tours, they want to see stuff like that. What that means is you show evidence of participation in competitions, awards, and events. That's why you go to some head teacher schools or principal schools, you see all kinds of awards on the walls. It's not there for nothing. It's there because they are targeting parents. They know that those kind of things resonate with some parents. That those are the kind of things that some parents are looking out for. Diverse extracurricular to discover, nurture different interests. They want to see that you're nurturing different interests. They have diverse curricular activities within the school that help to discover talents with the children. Future readiness, education that gives their children an advantage wherever, anywhere in the world. We promote 21st century skills, robotics, web designing, coding, stuff like that. Leadership programs. Even schools internationally are looking out for experience in leadership for the students that come into those schools that they get to admit. Interviews, job interviews, what have you, they ask you what leadership programs you have been part of. So schools also inculcate that for if you're dealing with upper middle class parents, those are the kind of things they're looking out for. Okay, so upper class, high income parents, prestige and reputation. They want academic excellence, global exposure, elite activities, safety, all of that in safety. Use premium branding. Branding has to be top notch. Showcase high level achievements. International links and affiliations. Are there other schools like international schools that you are affiliated to? Perhaps you have other schools, maybe universities that you're affiliated to, so that you have entrants from your school who do their exams and quickly from here they graduate from your school and they get admission, quick admission. Do you have this kind of affiliations? There are many schools here that I know of that do that sort of thing. So they have school fairs. They invite parents and they show you different schools that they're affiliated to. You fill those forms. If your child is interested in further education outside of the country, they show you what schools they're affiliated to. Those kind of things are the kind of things that upper class, high income parents are looking out for. Alumni success stories. Your alumni, how far have they gone in the world? What are they doing? What are they achieving? How well are they doing wherever they find themselves? So use policies round about every area of the school administration matters. They also like policies. So high academic standards, cutting edge teaching methods, interactive boards, computerized classrooms, STEM labs, robotics, coding, innovation, focused curriculum. Those are the kind of things they're looking out for. So you highlight modern facilities, curriculum upgrades, strong visual, strong everything, visual show. Okay, social network and exclusivity. A school where their children mix with similar social economic peers. That's also very important to them. So use storytelling around community leadership exclusivity without sounding discriminatory. Okay, convenience, transport, concierge service, efficient communication systems. So you emphasize comfort, emphasize seamless speed and excellence through via digital portals, mobile communication, etc. So you just have to show that you can cater to their needs. You can take care of their children. You understand their expectations and give them what they want and even more. And keep giving them. That's it for um, enrollment factors resulting from parent social strata. We continue in the group with our regular activities as we implore you to look closely into all these materials and keep tweaking. What we're looking at doing is before this third term, because as soon as the third term comes, third term has a lot of events. Third term is the term when you begin to look forward to the next session. So if you're going to be looking forward to the next session, that means your advertising strategies must start in the third term. You should have advertising strategies ongoing, but third term is when you narrow in, when you zoom in on your advertising and all your marketing techniques and strategies and plans so that you begin to work on them, because you're going to be having a lot of events in the third term, and those events can become an avenue for people to come and visit your school, for you to get an awareness that you even exist, for you to get to meet with those people, for them to begin to make inquiries. The visit has already happened, or unless you want to make another visit that will be now targeted to taking them on a tour around the facilities. Okay, so if that is the case, you have to streamline all those activities before the third term, so that as soon as the third term comes, you hit the road running with your plans. So that the next session doesn't meet you unawares. By the next session, intake starts to come. So that's where we're going with all those materials as we're preparing ourselves. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in class on WhatsApp. God bless.